Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and it is Monday. So we've got another non-Yu-Gi-Oh deck, followed by a deck master here in a little bit. So let's talk about that non-Yu-Gi-Oh deck. Let's talk about the Naruto CCG. So let's go back in time, not too far, because it's only been gone about 10 years. But let's talk about Pain, let's talk about Void, and let's talk about why this deck was so much fun. So I don't know if you guys have watched Naruto all the way through, but at least during Shippuden, there was a great story arc where Konoha was under attack, and you basically had one totally dominant ninja who was able to control 6 different bodies that had 6 different abilities, and he was able to basically one-man invade Konoha. And that's basically the deck we're playing. Now, it does have some crossover with the Akatsuki, as Pain was part of the Akatsuki. So there is, it's just a whole bunch of fun. So let's go over it. First thing you need to know is that we're going to be running 3 giant chameleons. These guys are turn counter 0. They are one of the Pain spawns from the summoning body. If you do not have a ninja that includes Pain in the name while this is in play, it goes down by 2/2, making it a 3/0. Valid, so even when injured. If you would sacrifice this ninja, you instead move this card to your hand. I don't remember off the top of my head if sacrifice meant that you discarded them from play or if they were banished, but we'll see. Next up, I did run 1 giant chimera back in the day. It is a 2/0/2/0. When this team's ninja is defeated, you can place a coin symbolizing a Chimera Ninja into play with the following, and it essentially is the same thing as this. So it just, like a Chimera, just splits into more than one. And you could use coins if you want. As a player who plays multiple games, I tend to have more dice on me than I do coins. And again, you could just take like anything that has up to 2 sides, which is all the dice here. And you can just go ahead and put that on a 2 to make it a little easier on you to remember. Next up, we got a giant panda, because yes, when any of your void ninjas would be injured or receive damage, you may give 1 damage to this ninja instead. Helps keep your other people a little healthier. And when this ninja blocks, it gets a +1/1 during the turn. So again, just really helps you beef up the lines. Next, we need to play Nagato, but we want to play the childhood variant. So you're going to go ahead, you can grab a play set of 3. It does have growth, so you can do that. Starts as a 1/0, ends up as a 4/0 injured. As an additional cost to this, reveal a rain ninja from your hand. So again, look for the symbol and look for the rain. Valid, when this ninja is discarded, you can move it to the owner's chakra area instead. In that case, move a turn player's marker up by 1. Now, all of that moving of the turn marker is going to make sense when we get to the boss card. So just keep that in mind. Next, we're going to have 2 Zetsu, because again, we got to get in some of the Akatsuki. He is going to be a 3/0/0. When this is put in play or removed from play, look at the opponent's hand. Again, Zetsu is a spy. He's a quick body to the field. And since he's one of the Akatsuki, he's one of the few cards in here that actually has a chakra type outside of Void. Next up, 3 copies of the Animal Path. And this has Ambush, which means we can deploy this from the chakra zone as well. To summon this, or to play this, one must sacrifice a ninja or client. And again, if we're using the chameleon, then we'll get the chameleon back to our hand and we can deploy it again the next turn. At the start of the turn, if the turn marker is odd, we can place a Pain Spawn Ninja coin in play with the following: 3/0 healthy and injured, Animal Rinnegan. Valid, at the end of the turn, discard this ninja. So basically, it's going to be there to help offset the costs of the future Pain bodies. Next up, we got another Akatsuki that really is tied more to Pain than anything. It is Conan. Again, she's going to have Ambush. Also mental power of 2. Some of these will have that, mostly just the named people. Not so much on the Pain bodies, since they're essentially being used as constructs. We do have Ambush again, 0302. When this ninja is sacrificed, put in play one Void Ninja from the hand with a lower entrance cost than the ninja that was sacrificed. So it just lets you get out more cards quicker, which is always a good thing. Next, we're going to play 2 copies of the Naruto Path. And again, like everything else so far, is going to have ambush. You must sacrifice to put in play. While the turn marker is even, the opponent cannot play missions or activate effects of ninjas with an odd entrance cost. The entrance cost being the little shuriken symbol under the artwork. This has a valid effect that when it is the attacker during the mission phase, meaning attacker is on the turn player during the mission phase. For 0 chakra, I may put in play 1 heretical icon ninja from the reinforcement deck. If you have that card, feel free to play it. I didn't find it super necessary, but it's good. You could play it. Starts as a 5/2, ends up as a 3/0 injured. Next up, we're going to play 2 copies of the Preda Path. And they are the same card again. Ambush, turn counter 3, 5/3, 3/2. Obvious sacrifice, as with all paths. During the exchange of jutsu, if the turn marker is odd, you can negate 1 ninja effect or jutsu being played. And you guys may remember him as the one that was absorbing everybody's chakra and attacks. So, very cool card. Next up, we are going to run 2 copies of Sasori. Again, we're going with the Void Akatsuki variant. Mental power of 3, Jonin, ambush, so many good things on this card. When this ninja is put in play, you can exchange X Void cards in hand with X from the bottom of your deck. If your entire deck is Void, you're fine. But it doesn't matter that. It just matters what they are in the hand. But again, he's a nice puppet master. It allows you to sort of pull strings into more resources. Next up, we are going to play 2 copies of Toby. Toby being Madara, which is really Obito. A lot of goofiness happening here. And not actually going to have either the Void on him, nor will this one be counting as having the Sharingan. It's worth noting. This is the Fledgling Akatsuki variant. This says that any other Akatsuki ninjas that you control get a 1/1, so it's a generic buff across the board for us. And the valid effect, when one of the teams wins any victory, if the team had 2 or more Akatsuki ninjas, then we by effect win a battle reward. Again, it's like 1st to 10 wins, so this helps us press for game faster. Next, we are going to play 1 copy of the Human Path. The Human Path will, of course, still require sacrifice, proving me wrong that not all the bodies will be lacking of the mental power. Still has the ambush. And during the mission phase, if their turn marker is odd, randomly remove 2 cards in a player's hand from the game. At the end of the turn, return those cards. So again, this helps us during the showdown by removing potential jutsu from the opponent's hand, meaning that there would be a lot less for us to have to deal with. And again, since he's still pretty tough, 5/4/04, still only really need 1 copy of him. Next up, one of my favorite bodies of pain is the Asura. This one has ambush and surge. I don't remember what surge does, guys. Still has sacrifice. 8/1, 7/1, definitely a lead ninja for your squads. Valid when the turn marker is odd, this team wins victory regardless of the result of battle. And valid when this ninja is removed from play. Place a negative coin on up to 3 of the opponent's ninjas. Now, I love the way it's worded. It's on up to 3 and only place 1 coin. So again, if your opponent only has 2 ninjas, nobody's getting more than 1 coin. It makes it fair, makes it a good card. Next up, we're going to play the Itachi Uchiha. It's going to be a 6/4/3/3. The effect is valid during the exchange of jutsu. Move my turn marker down by X to negate a jutsu with the cost of X. And again, our boy is just really going to help us with control aspects. So that's all good. And the last ninja card that we're going to be using is going to be the Pursuit of Power Deva Path Pains. So these are the ones everybody should remember, as this is like Naruto or Yahiko or... Yahiko. So everybody should be familiar with this. This is the almighty push and pull variant of Pain. This is the absolute BA of the entire set. Again, sacrifice. During exchange of jutsu, move your turn marker down by X. Target opposing ninja with entrance cost of X becomes a standby ninja. Valid. Your turn marker is always considered even and odd. This will not affect the number, but for the effects like the animal path, this is going to make it happen every turn. Again, obviously, this is late game. This is turn counter 6. It's really set turn 7 or later, depending on whether or not you use the Itachi effect. And it's just crazy. You'll also notice the rank Satusa. In this game, this is essentially village leader. This is a Kage. And he would be for the Rain Village. So those are our ninja. Let's check out the jutsu, and then we'll get to the missions at the end. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using 2 copies of the Almighty Push. And as you guys can tell from the little red dot on the bottom, this is structure deck exclusive. So in order to do this, you need to burn X twice. If the user of the jutsu is Deva Path, lower the cost to a single copy of X. You need to have ninjutsu ability plus Rinnegan. The effect is apply the following effects according to the turn marker. Remembering ours makes it even and odd at the same time. If odd, X ninja on the battlefield becomes standby. They immediately drop out of battle. And if you even move X cards from the top and bottom of your deck to your hand. So again, it's very good. It lets you refresh all your options. Cards that you could use to pay hand costs or charge to chakra. This will let you get into everything you need. Next up, we're going to be using 2 copies of Chakra Disturbance. Casts on nothing. So this is a really good one. This will just go straight to chakra when you're done using it. All cards in the opponent's chakra area lose their symbols for this and the next turn. So again, you're playing up against somebody, they're using chakra natures. It's just a really good way to say you don't get your jutsu guy, because what's in your essentially your mana pool, your chakra pool, is not usable because it's all blank. Doesn't have its symbols. So it makes it a lot harder to play. Next, we're going to run 2 copies Chakra Jane. The only requirement here is that it's a Void Ninja. Cast on 2. The effect, discard up to 2 of the opponent's chakra. User of this jutsu will get 2-0 per card discarded this way. Basically based on, I want to say it was the Preta Path. Next up, 2 copies of the Jutsu Hologram. Now the only requirement is Akatsuki. So again, all the bodies of pain can use it. And just about everybody in the deck can use this one. It'll burn on 1. The effect is search the deck for any 1 Akatsuki ninja card with an entrance cost less than the turn marker. Move it to the user's team in any position. Then move the user to the bottom of its owner's deck. Essentially, swapping cards from your team into any other ninja in the deck. So, pretty cool. The Eyes of Pain. We're going to use this at 2. Their only requirement is Rinnegan. Move your turn marker up by 1. This does help speed you up. This changes things from even to odd if you need it, but this will allow you to play bigger things faster. Now, the expert effect is if you are using Nagato, move your opponent's turn marker down by 1 as well. So if it's an expert use, you get both. So yeah, pretty cool. The last one we're going to use is the Hand of Pain. And I like this one pretty well. As you can see, I'm running in the full play set of 3. The requirement is Rinnegan plus Ninjutsu again. You target any 1 jutsu being played. The effect, negate it. Shuffle it back into the owner's deck. If my turn marker is odd, negate the target user's effect text. So whoever was using that jutsu now also becomes effectless. If we are using Pain of the Preta Path, we also gain the expert effect to move this card to our hand after we use it. So, pretty cool. Now, going into the missions, which again, they kind of make or break your deck, we are going to be using 3 copies of Invasion. Turn counter 1, hand cost 1. Draw 1 card, then draw 1 card for every ninja you control with sacrifice. So the more pain bodies, the more advantage you get. Next up, the Time of Pain. Another playset, run the full 3. If you have 2 or more Rinnegan and or Akatsuki ninjas, you may move your turn marker up by 1, then move 1 card from the bottom of your deck to your hand. So again, it's sort of like a draw, or again, if you're using Sasori to manipulate your deck, this means that you have stacked a card to the bottom, knowing that you can get it back in a minute. Next up, we're going to use a single copy of the True Pain. This is a permanent mission. It's going to be, again, a 1/1. When you put this in play, draw a card, and then whenever you sacrifice a ninja, it moves to your chakra area. So I think we just got our answer, that anything that's sacrificed goes straight to discard rather than moving to the chakra area the way it would with growth. So that's good to know. And then we are also going to use 2 copies of the Spiral of Pain. I love this thing. So it's permanent for 2 turns. So for the Yu-Gi-Oh players, it's like Swords of Reveal. No, Nightmare Steel Cage, because that one actually lasts 2 turns. The effect, when your turn marker is moved, you may draw a card. Again, we have Jutsu that could do this. We can also manipulate it through effects like Itachi. So this could be a lot of draw cards. Additionally, during the mission phase, you may move this mission to the chakra area to ignore sacrifice for the next Void Ninja you deploy during this turn. So again, fantastic. If I thought I had room for a third, I probably would have played it. But I really wanted this last card in here. And that is a copy of Taking Over the World. So again, it's rare to see missions that don't cost cards from your hand. But check this one out. Select and apply one of the following based on the number of Akatsuki in play. 2 or more, draw a card, then drop 1. 3 or more, injure an opponent's ninja. 4 or more, get a battle reward. Yeah. So, like, legit, if you're just right there at the end, you already got 9, you're just like, yeah, taking over the world, I win. Because, yes. Or you could just be like, yeah, I don't really want to face him, plus his effect is invalid. So if we injure him, his effect is negate. So it was good. And again, I probably would have tried nowadays to fit another copy in there. But this is my Void Akatsuki Pain build. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you have, do the things. If you didn't, don't worry about it. Either way, do me one favor. Got another Deck Master coming out in a couple of hours. If you want to, you can check that out. Either way, have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys next time. Later.